KG, thank you very much for joining us today. Firstly, congratulations on 50 test matches. You'll be playing in your 50th in the next match. Tell us what reaching 50 test matches means to you.
Yeah, I think it's quite special. I didn't even know how many games I was on. I only found out after the last test match that this would be my 50th. It kind of just goes by without you really noticing it. It's something special for me. I've always wanted to represent my country, and this is definitely it's a personal milestone, and it's one that I'll hold dear to my heart.
Just a little bit closer.
I'll come closer.
How have you enjoyed or viewed or reflected on your career so far? Like, there's been a lot that's happened. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, there's been a lot of ups and downs, and it's definitely challenging to keep a good performance going for a long amount of time, and also navigating your way through the lows. I think that's quite tough, and then the external pressures that can influence your game and also influence the team space. Those are things that you have to deal with, and what you constantly get better at dealing with. But at the end of the day, you almost have to remind yourself to keep enjoying it, and remember yourself as this child or this teenager who just wanted to represent your country and show the world what you're about.
You've been through squads with so many different massive names for South African cricket. What are some of the things what have you learned collectively from just each generation as they've gone by?
Yeah, it's been an honor and a privilege to play alongside some of those big names. I was watching them in high school and in primary school, representing their country, and I had a burning desire to one day play at this level, and to play with them, some of my heroes, is something that's really extraordinary, and I still pinch myself to this day. I've learned a great deal from them, and I've kept a relationship with, I would say, all of them, and some of them I keep a close relationship with too. So yeah, I think it's what dreams are made of. That's what dreams are made of.
You spoke a little bit earlier about maintaining that hunger and just remembering your dream as a youngster. At the age of 26, you have taken 226 test wickets. How do you manage to stay level-headed, because you're a very mellow and cool guy, and how do you keep that from taking you over?
Well, for me, as much as it is about getting wickets, it's about being the best that I can be, and there's no limit to that. And I feel like I'm nowhere near done, so it's just about coming back and playing the next game. You can never take international cricket for granted. You can't take anything for granted. So it's for me, it's about the longevity in it as well, and not just doing it for a short amount of time. It's about doing it for a long time, and I think that's what keeps driving me.
And how do you navigate your way through dry spells or through difficult patches?
Yeah, those dry spells, they come at any time, and I guess you learn along the way. Everyone learns differently, but for me, it's just about realizing my strengths, and also improving on my weaknesses. But most importantly, what I've learned is just realizing your strengths, because that's what got you here.
There's a lot of voices that come in and out of an international or a cricketer's career. There's so many coaches that come in and out of your life, and so many people that offer lots of advice, and some of them with really good intentions, mostly I would say. How do you balance out the many people that have your best interest at heart and want to give you advice, and how do you filter out the voices and listen to the ones that you eventually listen to?
I guess being on this sort of platform and representing your country, that's the highest accolade, and you're always going to get people in your ear, I guess, because they want to get the best out of you, and you want to get the best out of yourself. But in terms of people who are there for not the best interest, I think you can quickly realize that, and you also, in the same light, you can also realize the people who've got your best interest at heart. But at the end of the day, it's about captaining your own ship and making those decisions, and having that support structure around you is really important. People who are going to advise you, in the right manner. And I think it's up to each individual to actually decipher who's there for your best interest, and that's just a part of the process and what comes with the territory. That's just one of those challenges. But at the end of the day, you don't want to confuse yourself. You want to keep things as simple as possible, as I've mentioned. And I think things more often than not should go your way.
Do you have any games that stand out in these last 50? Any particular moments, whether it was your own or a moment that belonged to someone else, that just really stood out for you throughout your time in this test team?
We've seen some amazing performances from individuals, amazing performances from a team perspective. But I do think that for me, the tours that stand out was when we toured to India in 2015 or 16, and we actually were the first men's ODI team to actually beat India away from home, South African team that is. And also when we went to Australia in 2016, where a lot of our players were kind of retiring, and we really had to dig deep, and we ended up winning the series away from home 2-1. And Australia is a big test match for us. I think those two series is actually make the most impact for me in my career.
What is it about Test cricket that sets it apart from every other format for you?
It tests you in every sort of way. It tests you mentally, it tests you from a skill perspective, and it tests your longevity. So it's kind of like life, and it ebbs and it flows, and it always finds a way to challenge you, you as a team and you as an individual. Whether someone is batting on 100 or someone is approaching 100, and it's basically, or maybe your team is up against it and you have to do something miraculous with the ball, something miraculous with the bat. But the rewards are, I guess, much sweeter because you invest more of your energy for a longer period of time in variable conditions, which constantly change. Sometimes you're on the back foot, sometimes it's very seldom that you have a flawless test match. There's always some challenge that's going to come your way. So that's what I feel sets Test cricket apart from any other format. It's like life.
This format also takes a massive physical toll on the body. Is there a different way that you approach a test series in terms of preparing your body? Do you work out a certain different way, or is it pretty much the same for you?
I guess when you do play Test cricket, you gear yourself up mentally to bowl those long spells and to endure your body, I guess, mentally, to basically prepare your body. You prepare yourself mentally to put in the extra yard and to keep a high intensity for a longer period of time. But also from a scientific point of view, the game has become much more professional. You've got fitness trainers and strength and conditioning routines that are put in place so that players can actually give themselves the best chance of actually enduring a high intensity for a longer period of time. So people are employed to make sure that you can gain those extra 1%ers. But mentally, I think it's up to the individual to actually prepare themselves for those long testing times.
You're in your 5th test bubble. Bubble life has become life as we know it for athletes nowadays. Because of the length of time of each format, of this particular format, how have you experienced life in a Test cricket bubble, and how much are you looking forward to the end? Hopefully someday soon.
Yeah, the bubbles are definitely not sustainable. It's something that every cricketer and every media and management personnel could agree with. You know, we are still human beings, and we would still like our freedom. Freedom is a right after all, but it's unfortunate with this pandemic that we kind of have to be, not kind of, that we have to be, yeah, enclosed and confined, yeah, to a small amount of, to a small space. But at the end of the day, we are here for a reason, you know. Sometimes we just have to remind ourselves that we are getting an opportunity to still earn, we're getting an opportunity to still do what we love, and through this pandemic many people actually have been struggling. So sometimes you just have to remind yourself and look at the glass half full, but actually looking at it from a logical point of view, I don't think it's sustainable. The bubbles are slowly going away, so hopefully the doctors can find better solutions.